Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Crypto Tech over here, coming back with a Bitcoin cryptocurrency video for you today. Bitcoin breaking out of its symmetrical triangle that we drew out on our charts. We'll take a look at it here in a second. Currently at about fighting a little bit with $24,000. It's at $23,900. So we're going to be taking a look at the charts here in a few seconds, taking a look at the news articles to start us off with. First, let's go ahead and get started, folks. If you're brand new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, so that way you can be updated every single cryptocurrency video we make on this channel. And also, don't forget to share this video with your friends and family too if they're interested in crypto. Bitcoin total market cap could hit $1 trillion in 2021 as its growing reserve currency status drives adoption higher, a cryptocurrency expert says. Obviously, we're waiting for that $1 trillion mark. I do believe we're currently right above $600 billion or so. So honestly, we really don't have that much further to go, really. We've kind of made a substantial climb here the past past month or so with our total coin current market cap too as well. Bitcoin market cap could hit $1 trillion as early as 2021, according to the blockchain.com's head of research. Cool. My expectation is that Bitcoin will become $1 trillion asset as early as next year. Who is also visiting fellow at the London Economics told Business Insider. Although the 2020 Bitcoin rally was largely driven by institutional investors, the experts to see continued buy-in more from retail and Wall Street investors going forward. The researcher expects the U.S. to digitize the dollar, but not too soon, as he said the Fed is happy with the way the world is. So obviously, you know, I think we're probably going to be looking at a U.S. digital dollar eventually, maybe later on or something of that nature. But who's to say that that's going to work out? I mean, you already got Bitcoin. Bitcoin is definitely working out as it needs to be. And, you know, we're not going to really need the centralized banks to do anything else for us after this. This is basically the start of all your decentralization. Bitcoin's market cap could reach $1 trillion sometime in 2021 as investors take its reserve currency status more seriously, according to Gary Hillman, head of research at blockchain.com. So possibly by 2021. I mean, that's honestly not out of the picture. And, you know, as we start to dive into the charts here, we'll even see how much more bullish we have on these charts to continue going. Goldman says Bitcoin surging popularity won't harm Bitcoin or won't harm gold. So as you know, gold's been kind of remaining stagnant as Bitcoin continues to rise. I do remember that we did have a resistance line that we were going to come up and retest on gold. So we'll have to take a look at gold charts and see if we've broken that resistance line and how much further we might have to the upside for gold. So it's been a while since we looked at the gold charts, but we'll take a look at that here in a second. Gold and Bitcoin can coexist, according to Goldman Sachs Group Inc., which said the largest digital cryptocurrency may be pinching some demand for the oldest of havens. The precious metal standing will endure. Gold's recent underperformance versus real rates in the dollar has left some investors concerned that Bitcoin is replacing gold as inflation hedge of choice. The bank said in a note, while there's some substitution, we do not see Bitcoin rising popularity as an existential threat to gold status of the currency of last resort. And so, I mean, you're obviously going to get a lot of the gold bugs out there, a lot of the older generation that don't understand Bitcoin. And, you know, so you're still going to have people wanting to get into gold. And by all means, I think it's relevant. You know, everyone's trying to look for their hedge and what they think is right. And then obviously, you know, gold has been around for years and it's always been a hedge. So why not make it another hedge against the dollar too as well, right? Bitcoin has been blistering rally this month, exceeding $23,000 per token on Thursday, having only surpassed 20,000 milestone for the first time on Wednesday in its recent prompted debate about whether the upstart will cut into gold's role. JP Morgan arguing that the rise of cryptocurrencies in mainstream financing is coming to an expense of bullion. So yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, some of the banks may be a little concerned about it. So now they're going to have to start hedging with Bitcoin too as well. You know, you're going to start seeing a lot of these big institutional investors figure out that they need to find a different hedge than gold because of the performance that gold is not giving them. Bitcoin could see 25% to 30% sell-off in the new year, but it's still a long-term buy, trader says. So obviously we haven't seen our big correction just yet. I believe we've seen maybe up to a 10% correction, but we're still, during a bull market, we'd like to see Bitcoin, have a healthy correction, probably of somewhere to maybe 25 to 30% or so. And usually during our bull markets of 2017, we've seen all the way up to a 35% sell-off to the downside, and continuation after that too as well. So if that is to occur, we're looking for when the proper time, and when we're starting to get the signs that the sell-off will occur. And that's when we're going to take a look at the charts and see if we think that sell-off might be ready to occur anytime soon. Signs of cryptocurrency technical chart points to a 25 to 30% sell-off that's likely to hit early in the new year. Chief market strategist Matt Marley told CNBC's Trading Nation on Thursday, Bitcoin broke above $23,000 level for the first time on Thursday, building on a massive 250% year-to-date rally. There's no question it's been a melt-up, and it could last a little bit longer. Marley said, I think on a short-term basis, it could continue a little bit longer, and I am very bullish on it and very long-term basis, but immediate term, I'm a little more concerned that I think a lot of other people. Part of that problem is the market's excess liquidity. Marley said over the summer, the sideline money fueled the mega cap tech rally. Now that those stocks have stabilized, it's driving Bitcoin, he said. The problem is that now it's taken weekly relative strength chart on the Bitcoin to very, very high level. It's above 88 as of Thursday. So obviously they're taking a look at the RSI here, using some of their technical indicators there too as well. But we use Market Cipher, and we trust Market Cipher too as well. So if y'all want to pick up Market Cipher by CryptoFace, check the links in the description box below. Or if y'all just want to get my daily technical analysis, private technical analysis, then y'all can join our Patreon page too as well. And once you join, make sure that you give me your Discord username, so that way I can give you access to our private category on our Discord server, and you can stay up to date with all of our calls and our ins and outs of the market too as well, and all of our trade setups and our altcoins too. So people need to be careful, he said. I love the long term, but I think I'm going to be much deeper a sell-off than 10 to 15%. Once those seen more recently, I think we're going to see 25 to 30% easily. Again, I don't think that really starts until early next year, but yeah, I do see it's coming based on overbought conditions and the froth, and we've seen in asset classes in the last week or two. Manager director. So, our hash ribbons pretty much gave us a clear indication that we were headed to the upside. Usually the hash ribbons don't really tell us a lot about when we're ready to capitulate or have our big sell-offs, but we can definitely probably rely on Market Cipher to give us those hints. So taking a look at the charts here in just a second, one more Forbes article news. Here we go. Massive Bitcoin gains are being dwarfed by Ripple's XRP, Litecoin, Ethereum, and these minor cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin has broken the fresh ground this week, climbing above 20,000 per Bitcoin for the first time ever and grabbing global attention again 3 years after Bitcoin's 2017 boom and subsequent bust. The Bitcoin price is around $30,000 over the last month, adding to gains of more than 200% since January and pushing up other top 5 cryptocurrency values: Ethereum, Ripple, XRP, and Litecoin. Ethereum, XRP, and Litecoin, sometimes known as altcoins, have soared by more than 30% over the last 30-day period, with the likes of smaller cryptocurrencies Cardano, NIM, and Stellar making even bigger gains. So we're going to take a look at these 3 cryptocurrencies too as well on our charts, and let's go ahead and drag our charts over here and we can get started with the charts. So taking a look at Bitcoin, we're starting here on these lower time frames as of right now, just kind of getting a little bit of range set for us after our previous break high. It looks like we are finding support here on our 21 EMA after our symmetrical triangle broke to the upside here, and so as we start to zoom out, we can kind of take a measured move. We can actually have already hit our price target for this symmetrical triangle breakout, so the fact that we are seeing a little bit of a sell-off is not to be unexpected. Although these major wicks here would have been pretty crazy to play off of too. So taking a look at the 15-minute chart, we still got a nice little decent amount of money flow. It's thinning out though, so we need to be really careful. We're going to probably have a lot more volatility as our money flow starts to thin out here on these lower time frames too as well. Going all the way up into our 2-hour time frame. Let's take a look at our 2-hour. 2-hour still got some nice potential to the upside, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get another bounce here and try and get back up above $24,000 or so. And if we kind of zoom out here, looking at our 4-hour, we're getting a nice green dot here to the upside too as well. I'm just kind of curious to see how low we went on our 3-hour. Usually when we come back down to retest our 0 pivot point, if we get a bounce there, it definitely continues our upwards trajectory. Waiting for our green dot here on our 5 and 6-hour. So our 6-hour could possibly getting a nice little green dot there. Money flow on our 6-hour still looking pretty good. We did have our Mount Everest theory kind of play out that CryptoFace would always talk about with money flow coming up into that greenish area, and it does look like we are maybe wanting to put in another big money flow here, so we'll kind of have to wait and see how this wants to play out. But things are still looking pretty good. We did recover with our money flow. Money continued to trickle into this market. Our 8-hour still looks really good too. It looks like we could be getting another bounce here with a green dot. Taking a look at the 12-hour, for the most part, we're kind of losing a little bit of momentum here on these higher time frames, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get somewhat of a red dot to have some, sell-off that is to occur. But then we're going to be even zooming out a little bit more, taking a look at the 2-day. We still got some nice movement to the upside, and our 3-day and our 4-day have also given us green dots here too as well. So I'm not going to be too bearish as of right now. Our 4-day actually gave us another bullish one on the TI sequential here. And so the TI sequential is an indicator by Tone Vase that we also use on this channel, and then we use our market guide buy and sell signal. So mainly using paid for indicators on our charts here. And if you're interested in picking up some of those paid for indicators, you can check the links in the description box below. But as you can see here, we formed a symmetrical triangle. We broke to the upside. We've pretty much hit our take profit area too at about $24,000 or so. We wicked all the way up to about 24,200 or so. And so now we're looking pretty good to continue. 5-day green dot just occurred too as well. Wow, so this is pretty interesting to take a look at here. But 5-day green dot has occurred, and now we're just continuing up higher. Probably looking for a 6-day green dot here, maybe a weekly green dot too as well. Based on our previous bull market, what usually happens with these red and green dots is that we usually continue having a little bit of a Christmas tree pattern here with our momentum waves, and then we still continue up higher. So you can see that we've just steadily been stair stepping here, and so we're gonna have to wait to see if we're gonna peak out here or not on our weekly maybe. And then maybe have a capitulation to the downside. 35 to, I would say about 35% move to the downside would not be unexpected for Bitcoin. But when we're going to get that is still undetermined just yet. It still looks like we still got some momentum to the upside as of right now, based on some of our mid time frames and even our higher time frames giving us those big green dots too as well. So I'm looking for a possible move maybe past $24,000 or so, and then finding support to continue the trend to the upside. But our money flow is still really thick in the green here, and I would not be surprised if we still continue before we get our big sell-off. But definitely come back and stay tuned, so that way you can see what we're looking at here on the charts. And so looking at the 2-day here, and the 2-day on our Bitcoin dominance chart, Bitcoin dominance is this basically giving us an indication of if Bitcoin's ready to continue to rally based on some of money moving out of the alts and into Bitcoin too as well. So taking a look at the 3-day chart, I think we'll definitely keep an eye here on our 3-day. It does look like we've definitely had a momentum shift, breaking through some of our trendline resistance areas here, looking for about 68% to the upside here for our momentum waves to definitely come back up and retest some of these bullish trend lines here and maybe break through that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we are kind of forming somewhat of a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern here. And if we continue further to the upside to break this resistance line up here, we could definitely push through that too as well. Money flow is looking good here on our 3-day with our Bitcoin dominance. So obviously money's moving back into Bitcoin, and we could still continue its bullish rally here for the most part. And I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of blast through some of these levels here with our 4-day even giving us a nice little resistance line above head, and us creating a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders here to continue our continuation to the upside. So it looks good. It's looking a lot better. I'm definitely keeping a close eye here on the dominance chart just to see you know, how much more momentum. I can see things here on the dominance chart that I can't see on the regular Bitcoin chart. The Bitcoin chart is just bullish, 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 and this is giving me a little bit more of a time, like a deeper analysis of is money still ready to continue flowing into this market? And so far it does look like Bitcoin will probably still have its rally before some of these altcoins decide to take off, you know, going into mid-time of next year maybe. I'm looking for spring of 2021 to be altcoin rally season. And let's take a look at some of the alts here in continuation of maybe there's some bullishness with them too as well. So let's take a look at ETH first, and then we'll go into Litecoin and XRP. So taking a look at ETH to USD here on the 2-day, we've been keeping a close eye on our daily time frame. It does look like we are ready to break through our pivot point here too as well. Our daily's kind of giving us a little bit of an overbought signal with our momentum wave and our VWAP headed to the downside, but I wouldn't be too surprised if we continue further up here past our trend line, or if we just continue to ride this trend line up here up in a ways, looking for about $700 or so, maybe by the end of December. So right around the end of December, I wouldn't be surprised if we start closing above $700 and continue that trend to the upside. Our EMA, our daily 21 EMA is definitely holding us as support, as you can see here, having nice bounces and then continuing to the upside from there too as well. So looking for about $700 ETH by the end of December would not be out of the picture, and it does, because it does look like it's got some potential here. Still zooming out just a tad bit, or zooming in even more, we can see that we're probably going to be expecting a bounce here. We've already gotten a bounce on our 4-hour with our green dots, and now we're just going to continue further to the upside here. So I'm keeping a close eye with Ethereum on the daily chart, but we're probably just going to continue to consolidate on this pivot trend line here and continue to move back up above $700 Ethereum. Taking a look at Mrs. Litecoin, let's go find Mrs. Litecoin. Where are you at? LTC. All right, LTC on the daily here. We've had our buy signal on our daily. That's continued a nice little uptrend here for us too as well. Zoom out here on the charts, taking a look at our 2-day chart. We've definitely just broken through major resistance that's been holding us back ever since you know, about $150 for Litecoin during our last previous bull cycle, and we're waiting to retest that. We're waiting to retest about the $150 area for Litecoin, and I have no doubt that we'll get that retest relatively soon. You can see our trend line here from $400 Litecoin, where Charlie Lee sold all his Litecoin at with $400. We're waiting. We've broken major resistance for that too, and these charts here on our 3-day just look like they're ready to take off. I mean, we've broken through all the major resistance points here. Our bullish trend lines have been broken, and now Mrs. Litecoin is just ready to continue to blast off past the $150 level and reaching all the way up into that $400 level. I'm for certain relatively soon. So if we start to zoom in just a tad bit here, let's see if we're still expecting some bullishness here on our mid time frame. So looking at our 4-hour time frame, definitely looking like it's ready to continue to the upside here too as well. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we definitely get a push above $130 or so. 120, 125, definitely in the works for us too as well. But money flow is looking good here. It looks like we're starting to recover with our mid time frames and our money flow. And now we're just going to have to wait for these higher time frames to continue to play out. Getting a nice green dot here on our 3-day and our 4-day time frame. Let's see, we've gotten green dots all the way up to our 5-day time frame. So yeah, Mrs. Litecoin is looking really good. I wouldn't be surprised if we push above $125 or $130 going on into next week or so. Taking a look at XRP. XRP on the charts, man. Oh man, you've been driving me crazy, XRP. But we've gotten our buy signal here on the daily chart, and finding support above our 21 EMA. This looks relatively good for the most part, sitting at about 60 cents right now. VWAP's also, it looks like it could be ready to fold back over, and I wouldn't be surprised if we come back down to retest the 21 EMA, sitting right at about 54 cents or so, just as support. But let's continue to zoom out here and see what's going on. If we zoom out, we're already starting to get our bounce here on our 2-day. 2-day green dot has appeared. 3-day green dot probably ready to appear. We're starting our extended bull count here on the TI sequential with another bullish one here too as well. And so this looks relatively good, folks. 3-day probably going to be seeing a green dot by next week too as well. Looking at our 12-hour time frame, momentum wave still headed to the upside. VWAP's finding support on our 0 pivot point, so I wouldn't be surprised if we continue up here. Money flow looking a little thin, but I think money flow all the way on our lower time frames has been a little thin, although looking at these lower time frames like our 2-hour and our 4-hour, these look really good, only because we've had our money flow start to recover here, moving back into that greenish area. And now we're looking for a breakthrough about the 64-cent area or so. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to get dragged up to this trend line again and possibly break through it with the bullish momentum that we have, and with our money flow starting to recover on our mid time frame. So that's going to be our next point of return, is probably the 60-cent area, the 65-cent area or so. So definitely looking for a big push here. It does look like we've already broken some of our trend lines on our smaller time frames with our green triangle here, and so now we're looking for a push at about 65 cents or so. But yeah, it looks relatively good for the most part. We had a little bit of a symmetrical triangle forming for us here, and then we continued to break out of it. So I gave this trade setup to our Patreon members, so don't forget to join us on our Patreon page. If you're interested in joining us there, make sure that you leave me your Discord username, so that way I can give you access to our private category on Discord too as well. But yeah, we had this nice symmetrical triangle breakout, and now we're looking for that 60, let's see what our target price move would be. If we take this up and drag it up here, looking for about that 60-cent level or so. Yeah, so 65 cent level to 70-cent level, definitely probably in the works for XRP. So that's looking relatively good for the most part. And I think that's going to do it for today. Let's take a look at the fiat dollar and just see how much we're collapsing here. Getting another rejection here on our 4-hour time frame for probably some continuation to the downside, continuously getting rejected on our 21 EMA on our 4-hour time frame. And VWAP starting to sell off here a tad bit. Our daily did look like it was ready to recover, but still, you know, things are just not looking good. Yellow X's on our higher time frame definitely indicate that whale manipulation is taking place, but also they're probably printing more money, so that it is what it is, and you know, we're going to have to be prepared for it either way. And definitely make sure that you're hedging yourself to make sure you just doing the right thing for your family and friends too as well. So I look forward to seeing y'all back on the channel, folks. And oh, let's take a look at gold. We forgot about gold and silver. So moving on over into gold, our video is looking a little long as of right now, about 22 minutes. But thanks for sticking around, folks. If y'all stuck around, comment gold down below, gold charts, and I'd highly appreciate that, and let me know that y'all are interested in these videos here. So yeah, looking at the daily chart, this is where we've been expecting a bounce and moving back up to. It does look like we've continued to have that bounce there. We've gotten our blue triangle here on our daily time frame, and now we're just waiting for a move back up to retest this trend line and probably break through it. Our daily does look like it's ready to recover with our money flow here, continuing to the upside. If we kind of zoom in just a tad bit, we can see money flow still wanting to recover on some of these mid time frames, and heading into that greenish money flow is going to be relatively bullish for gold as well. So gotten our 2-day buy signal here too, so that looks pretty good. Yeah, it does look like it's ready to recover though. So 3-day, big green dot down here, money flow still holding us afloat. Yeah, gold looks like it's probably starting ready to start recovering here pretty soon. But definitely keeping a close eye on the daily chart here, and probably waiting for a trend line retest all the way through here. So that's it for gold, folks. Thanks for sticking around on the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If y'all want to pick up some of our paid for indicators that we use, there's links in the description box below, as well as links to the Patreon page, and a link to our Path to Cryptocurrency beginner course if you're brand new to crypto and you have no idea what I was talking about. Throughout this whole video, I highly recommend that you take a beginner course and crash course to crypto. There's a link to our teachable course down in the description box below if you want to check it out. And if y'all have any questions, feel free to message me on Discord, or however you'd like to get a hold of me, Twitter. Either way, I'll be glad to message you back too as well. So with that being said, folks, I look forward to you joining us in our Patreon page. And let's give a quick shout out to our Patreon members here just really quick. The ones that have stuck around. We got David, N Kim, Jasmine, Crypto Rex, Leo, Sparky, Johnny 20, William, Quentin, Ben, Eric, Samuel, Tall Troy, Tim, Luna, Exin, Sean Stein, Greg, Haru Yor, Pike 379, Paul A. Keller. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I highly appreciate it. I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm signing out. CTO. Peace.